Hello, everyone. I am manifesting that this message is finding the right people at the right time. I mean for my collective messages to be timeless, but it is good to be back to see everyone here. If you are already a subscriber or new to my channel, it has been some months for me. And actually, the message that I have for this collective is going to be tied to my return, actually. But I do have a list of synchronicities and signs, basically, that's going to get us started with what the message is. In general, this message seems to be something about resistance transitioning into clarity, which is transitioning into truth. This is a collective that seems to be dealing with this dreamy, illusion like energy when it comes to this Mercury retrograde and Pisces that we're having, but is soon to be ending on Friday. Thank God. I am a Virgo rising, so it's just really messing with me lately, especially when it comes to communication, which is also a part of, I think, on the personal side, how I'm resonating with this message as well. But please take the details how they best resonate for you. Please use your discernment, your intuition, and use it responsibly. And yeah, just stay in tune. We are going to have a yap session. I like to talk a lot, and sometimes I speak and provide messages and synchronicities through the personal stories that I provide and how I resonate with these messages again. So I'm sorry for those of you who don't like long messages, but this is my time to talk with y'all, talk about the tea. So again, I was talking about resistance into clarity and into some type of truth or a return to something here is really what I was getting. And a lot of the signs were picked up while I was sitting through traffic the other day. And I was noticing a lot of turn signals because I was specifically asking for a sign as to why I was noticing a lot of descending numbers. So that was like the main synchronicity I was going off of at first. 987, 321, I was seeing a lot of times. And so again, a lot of these related to cars. So cars could be significant for somebody, car issues, or maybe desiring a new car. Again, take it how it resonates. But one of the numbers I noticed after I asked God to tell me why I was picking up the synchronicity on the license plate of someone's car was 654. And they also had a sticker that was a retired US Army veteran, which really connected to another car I later saw with the number 311 on it, which is also a significant number. I've been seeing that since the 11th of this month, March 311. So I personally don't understand why, but that number I've been seeing like every day since that day. And on that car specifically, it was a USPS truck, and I noticed that they were hiring. So I don't know how that's going to connect for somebody, but I just realized like US, one was retired and one was hiring. So in the matter of this message, that could relate to someone in terms of maybe returning to a job that you once maybe put down, walked away from, whatever it could be for somebody. You're returning to something that is going to bring you a lot of expansion and a lot of abundance in your life, a lot of prosperity. For people in this collective, most of this is going to be about money and I was going to say finances, work, your career, your life purpose, your soul's purpose is what I want to say. Again, I'm trying to find the words as I'm still struggling with this retrograde. But there's also parts of this collective that's going to resonate with this in love. And it feels large and like it could really touch on, trash. They're picking up trash in my neighborhood. So I'm sorry if y'all can't hear me for a little bit. What was I saying? There's a little bit of a connection between the collective maybe being focused on certain illusions in their life right now, certain things that you're trying to figure out, maybe things that you're realizing you need to throw away in your life or things that you actually need to stop focusing on. So for a lot of you, that might be your love life. That's kind of like exiting your focus at this time because you might need to focus more on your money or your career, on doing something in your life. It's like you're meant to be standing more of in an emperor position, taking control over something, authority, recognizing your power, or stepping back into it. So again, maybe for some of you, this is going back to a job that's hiring that maybe you didn't want to go back to before for whatever reason. Because for me, myself, it was about YouTube. My dad was telling me just a few days ago, he was like, I really think that you would do well if you started posting on YouTube, because I just hit 10,000 followers on TikTok and I've been so focused on that, and then just trying to maintain my blog. And then I'm trying to post a little bit on Instagram, and then I bring that over to Facebook. And I think that in my mind right now, I'm overwhelmed and overstimulated all of the time. So to me, I thought it was only logical to say no to coming onto YouTube and trying to make this a consistent thing, because I feel like I'm still trying to find financial stability in a sense that would really take a lot of weight off of my back, or off of my energy really, and allow me to be more creative and be more motivated and productive when it comes to expanding into other methods of, expanding my messages. So that was my reasoning. I'm thinking I'm being smart and whatnot. But this whole time, honestly, after reaching that milestone, I have been doing really well and I have been showing up consistently. But it's also like I feel like something was still missing. Like when I'm watching collective readings or when I'm doing readings for myself, I'm like, I feel like I'm understanding things, I'm seeing everything clearly, but I'm still missing something and I don't know what that is. And I'm not saying it has to be YouTube was the main reveal. I hope not. I don't know. It's kind of a little bit underwhelming. And for some of you, maybe that's how you're going to feel when it comes to this realization. But it's like you're going to click and realize that something that maybe you were focused on. And like for me, yeah, it was like, who am I going to see from my past? What ex is coming back or whatnot? And I was dealing with these people and I'm like, nothing's happening again in a way that I didn't expect it to. I know who to say no to. I know who to not give my time to. I was so focused on love. The realization was in itself what my dad was saying, that I said logically, no, I don't really feel like I should be doing that. I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. I don't have the capacity. But actually, when I started channeling this message, wrote it down and started pulling cards and asking God, where do you want me to provide this message? I'm thinking, what, maybe I should write this out because it would be a little bit shorter if I could sit down and, make my thoughts more concise. But they said, no, we actually wanted you to expand. Spirit was giving me the actually, I didn't mean to say the Ace of Wands, but the Ace of Wands is at the top of my deck. They gave me the Three of Wands. But I realized that when I just pre-shuffled my deck earlier, sorry y'all if I get scrambled. I also have ADHD, so try to keep up. I'm sorry. I realized that I was seeing at the beginning or the top of the deck actually resonated with this message again. Spirit is asking you to actually go back to something that was actually, dissolved, put out. It could be a creative outlet. It could be a romantic partner. But whatever it is, it's a new beginning that you already had once before, an idea you already had, something that you already started, but you put it down for whatever reason. So that was mainly the message here that we're gonna look into. But I said that again, there was something about turn signals. When I noticed these cars, everybody was turning and I'm like, okay, something's turning around or something's coming in. Returning to something, again, expansive after a certain blockage dissolves, possibly when it surrounds your perception. You're chasing possibly after the wrong type of second chance. For some of you, if that's going to resonate in some type of way. There's a lot of second chances that you're being offered, but it's really about which one is the cup that you're supposed to choose when it comes to the Seven of Cups is what I have in my mind's eye. So again, it goes from 2 aces to 2 threes. For some of you, again, it could be social groups, friendships, community, something about your family, something that you might have put down because of pessimism, negativity, limiting beliefs, something that honestly is trying to be healed in some type of way. And for a lot of you, again, this is just fears and anxieties, things that aren't necessarily meant to allow you to stay small or hold you back. Or for a lot of you, it's like keeping you in hermit mode and not allowing yourself to be seen, not allowing yourself to connect in some type of way. And for a lot of you, again, this feels like it could be connected to traveling, but this is your 10 of Pentacles. This is something that is going to be the seed or the start to something that's very long lasting, very secure, okay, very abundant. It could be like the beginning of generational wealth. The Sun reversed, the 9 of Wands. Oh no, this is the 5 of Wands reversed. I don't know why I said that. But yeah, this was like a lack of clarity or confusion from the internal tension that you were feeling. Nothing was actually stopping you externally. There, again, might have been excuses that you were putting out there as to why you were not seeing something clearly, or you didn't feel optimistic or hopeful about a certain opportunity here. But whatever it is, you're returning back to it because something is not complete. And it feels like those fears, again, were just your perceptions. It was the illusions, again, specifically Spirit is asking you to look at right now. I'm not going to keep going back, honestly, but I see the Star reverse, the Page of Wands. Again, you're finding direction, inspiration, motivation, something about some of you needing to really let go of control and listen to the flow of your intuition, of your emotions, of the creative process. I was about to say I see the Queen of Cups, but then right behind that is my High Priestess. And then I also see the Queen of Swords. So Spirit isn't asking you to not be logical, but they're asking you to like incorporate your emotions and what you actually feel past the logic with that, to really make that final judgment call. And I'm hearing for a lot of you, you have to give something like a real try before you allow it to be put down. And then there is the 10 of Swords reversed, Ace of Pentacles reversed. Again, this was a missed chance, a missed opportunity, one that you didn't take. For a lot of you, again, that 10 of Swords is really giving me anxiety that you need to start taking out of your back, out of your heart, out of your mind. I'm really seeing the Moon reversed with this card as well. But there is what I was talking about, the 7 of Cups reversed. You're seeing clarity now when it comes to your options and your opportunities. So a lot of you, yes, you are the Knight of Cups, or in a way you thought a Knight of Cups was maybe coming toward you, but you are the Knight of Cups. You are the one deciding where your heart is needing to be offered, where you want to bring it, how you want to expand it, what you want to pour it into. You're learning how, honestly, I'm not going to say that. You've already learned how to start filling your cup, how to also protect it so that you're not overextending yourself, so that you're not running yourself dry and continuously trying to pour. I feel like that's what it is with the logic thing and the excuses thing. For a lot of you, it's not, again, like trying to block your abundance. I didn't see the Empress reverse behind that. You're not trying to block your abundance intentionally, maybe. But again, it's like this is divine feminine energy coming out here. Honestly, like a lot of my feminine queens coming out. But that's really important here. Learning how to relax, sit back, and trust. Even if you're questioning something here, you're meant to like follow that curiosity, because there is something that you're meant to provide from it, or you're meant to experience from it. And it's something that is meant to like help you build your, again, internal and external security, stability, and abundance. You're meant to be able to be self-sufficient. You're meant to be able to be independent, but also know how to depend on other people. It feels like that's an important message here. You're not meant to like continue to push everybody away, specifically for some of you, just because they're coming forward or toward you, just as I'm hearing vulnerable, but it's also like incomplete. Some of you have a certain perception when it comes to, again, your social or romantic dynamics, that Spirit is highlighting some type of unfairness that needs to end. This doesn't feel like it's something that like is being provided to you. It feels like almost you providing this energy. So this is like, I haven't gone this far into the message yet, so we're going to get started, I guess. But this is just something I'm channeling now. We have to be smart about how we're balancing our masculine energies with our Empress energies, our feminine energies. this is coming in pieces, but there's something here about like, again, your subconscious habits or perceptions, where they're coming from, what they stem from, what they're rooted in, and how you might be projecting a lot of things that you might also believe are being projected onto you. And it's not that you're wrong about that, but there's something about needing to be able to check yourself and be able to, I feel like checking yourself is the best way to express that. But I don't know, that was like really important here. Some of you need to be more compassionate and more open toward other people and just try to be less judgmental of them, or being able to provide them the same amount of time and opportunity to maybe reach a certain potential or capability that can be reached had they been given the resources. And again, like the time and grace. Grace is like the best word I'm getting here. You might be learning how to not just start giving yourself more grace, but how to extend that to other people. The Emperor reverse is really giving me, again, we don't want to be domineering. You know, we don't want to be a leader that everybody hates, and now we have to be the one who's right. And we have to be the one that's seen. That there's something here about your power is always strong. It's always felt. You don't have to overdo something to be noticed or to be right. I don't know. There's something there. So hopefully somebody took the message, because that kind of like switched. I didn't expect to go in that direction, but yeah, thank you, Spirit. So 1010 could also be significant. 1111, 111. The ages or the numbers 13, 14, and 18 could also be significant. The root chakra, I picked up the number 396, which is the frequency for the root chakra, which again is connected to stability, security, your foundation, emotionally as well, really relieving yourself of like subconscious blocks, limiting beliefs, again, internal fears. So if this is something that you're resonating with, that could also be a frequency, a sound, music that you want to listen to, or chakra work that you want to work on. So I think I picked up pretty much a lot of these things. I did talk about someone could be going on a road trip, or if you're going to be invited to travel soon, I feel like someone does want to take that opportunity. I picked up and channeled certain songs. Dramatic Girl by Baby Keem's new album. Stateside by Pink Pantheress and Zara Larsson. Dracula by Tame Impala. Again, going over the general message, it wasn't finished wrong. It was just paused, avoided, delayed. You need to reconnect to your why, possibly about whatever it is that you're also returning to, is what was Spirit highlighting. And then, yeah, because there was another thing outside of just like my dad trying to redirect me back to YouTube. My friend actually recently called me out on something, because I don't really post a lot on Instagram about me. Maybe I should say, like, I'm a Leo sun, right? And my Leo placements mostly are in the 12th house. So a lot of my natural brightness and shine and confidence and a lot of, I don't know, it's hard to even talk about this because of these placements specifically. Like my sun, I believe, is like in the 11th house, sometimes in the 12th house, depending on what chart system I'm using. My Mercury in Leo is in the 12th house. So a lot of like the ways I do try to expand or express myself honestly can feel very blocked or hidden or projected onto, and I really struggle with it. So this is why I talk about how I can be very yappy and I struggle with my words already. So anytime we're in Mercury retrograde, I'm just constantly stumbling over myself. And then my Chiron is in my 3rd house in Scorpio. So, and it's funny because I did say I picked up a lot of Scorpio and Aries energy, or placements could be significant for this collective as well. But there's something about, like, again, really stepping into that Emperor energy and taking back your power, taking back your control, power related to Scorpio. And for me, in a lot of ways, that's my voice, specifically my Mercury placement and my Chiron placement. What I struggle with the most is my like biggest gift to others. And I really feel like I'm always meant to be an example. Maybe I'm meant to struggle publicly. I don't know, because Spirit kind of gave me the personality of being able to laugh at myself, or being able to like naturally, authentically be me. And I'll just kind of be oblivious to the fact that maybe that like sometimes I could be a little bit different from other people. And so that causes a lot of confusion, and that causes a lot of shame and embarrassment, and like, am I doing something wrong, or am I wrong in some type of way? And that caused a lot of like mental health issues, which then led into the creation of my blog, which then led me to tarot, which then led me here. So again, there's like a big loop in terms of how I tend to mirror my collective. And that's also why I tend to speak about myself. And I'm realizing I'm healing a lot surrounding these Leo placements, and knowing that some of the things I do to hide myself away, like not posting myself on Instagram anymore because I mostly post about my business, it's not really because I don't want to. I used to post myself a lot, and I used to enjoy it a lot because I have always, it sounds so selfish, or it sounds vain, I think is the word I'm looking for, but like, it feels wrong to say I like how I look, and I recognize and acknowledge how other people see me on a very physical, surface level layer. So like when I was back in college, and I was free and independent and like going out and all this stuff, because I've always been kind of shy. And I think because of these wounds internally, I've just always recognized them. I've always just been very insecure and like always very critical of myself. So at a certain point, I would even hear from like family members, I think when I was starting to like really show off, like, you need to be careful, or you need to like really second guess these decisions, because at the time I thought I was going to be a teacher. I thought I was going to be a teacher ever since I was in like the 3rd grade. And so I was like, it's not always intentional. Like, people were trying to make me insecure about myself, but I really internalized a lot of these judgments and opinions that really pointed to not showing off or not being confident. Again, although people aren't directly saying that, it's like, for whatever reason, you should just not do so much. You shouldn't be so dramatic. You shouldn't be so sensitive. You shouldn't talk so much. You shouldn't talk so loudly. You shouldn't post certain pictures because of certain reasons that could logically be true. But at this point in time now, I'm making money off of tarot. I don't really think it matters if people see me in a swimsuit on Instagram. Like, I'm thinking about these things right now, and it's like, there aren't really any real reasons as to why I don't do certain things anymore. It's just things I'm used to telling myself. So I think that that's where I'm looping back to when it comes to like reconnecting to the why, or maybe needing to reevaluate the why as to why you walked away or why you ended something. Like, if it's something that you truly enjoy, why are you holding yourself back from it? Like, who is making you choose these decisions and these actions, or the lack thereof? That's the Scorpio part of this energy, is like giving your power away. Why are you doing it? Who's asking you to do it? And who's really in control? So I'm going to list off some of these synchronicities for you guys. I know I've been scattered around, but I've got the red and blue sports cars. Pottery for some people could be significant. Brat stalls, tacos, ducks, purple flowers, yellow monarch butterflies, Spider-Man or cobwebs, sunflowers, cats, as in the animal and the musical, and then the song Memory from the musical could be significant. And then I've got a few locations could be significant. You guys could be meeting a lot of people from these locations, or for whatever reason, you're seeing a lot of these locations popping up, either hearing about it, seeing them. For a lot of you, I was picking up like it could be that you're moving there, or there's someone that you need to meet who is connected to these places. If you're not moving, again, you could just be traveling. But I've got Florida, New York, Jamaica, Paris, Brazil, London, and New Amsterdam. Red cardinals are significant. And then I've got a few songs, which was the Dramatic Girls Stateside, and then Dracula. I already said that. I think I'm done now. I've honestly never had this many signs, so I hope I never have to make y'all go through that much again. But again, like this was kind of a list compiled over the past few days, extending into weeks, because I've been picking up this message for a while again. And honestly, I'm going to keep those open because I want to kind of ask about certain things individually. But I'm just going to start with 3 cards, Spirit. What this collective needs to know about this turning signal message. Chasing after the wrong second chance or returning something to expand. Some of you could be retiring from whatever this is going to be. You're going to make so much money, and I don't even really know where to start. I feel like that might have been the whole message, but I don't know. Spirit, what do you want to talk about? 5 of Pentacles, Taurus energy. Yeah, you feel like I'm picking up someone feeling blocked or disconnected. There's a habit here of either feeling this way or recognizing maybe why you are, I don't want to say why you are, but there's like an emotional habit or pattern that honestly needs to be left in the past. Habit, pattern, a mindset, an action. Yeah. This is something you guys are reflecting on, but it's keeping you, again, disconnected from certain people that I feel like you need to meet. Because I'm getting in your masculine energy, you're refusing to speak in a way that isn't really for the right reasons, because it's due to like past manipulation, again, past like deceptions, past illusions. They don't have to be intentional or from other people, but there's something that you internalized emotionally that is trying to come into like a more grounded and balanced state within you so that you can get something out. Either, again, you need to meet certain people or certain people need to meet you. You could have something that you honestly like need to provide, but there's something about community and connections and other people that's important here. I feel like you have something to say, something to speak, and it doesn't have to be verbally. This doesn't have to be written, but it is like an emotional or creative block is what I'm coming up on. And this could be something, again, that's just an outlet for you, something that helps you feel free, something that I'm kind of even picking up on something like art therapy, but in the most general sense. You could do any type of mode of art. Is that even the right word? I don't know why I wanted to use those words, but there's something about like the process of someone healing and how that mirrors or correlates with the emotional purging that comes with creating a piece of art, a piece of work, something that you need to be pouring yourself into. Yeah, but it's like mirroring how you also connect with yourself in terms of, again, the compassion you give yourself, the grace you give yourself, the care that you give yourself. The more you do so, the more you're closer to following this path. But I feel like, again, that's something that you're not used to, or something that people told you not to do, to like prioritize yourself, to think about yourself in a way that's not really selfish, but they've made you think it's selfish. Okay, you're carrying weight or burdens or responsibilities or expectations or obligations that are not yours to carry. This is like not all of your energy, honestly. And I feel like someone is awakening to that. And I think that that's why it's so important that Spirit is giving you this energy and this message right now, because it's really a lot of the main blocks to a lot of what you're meant to invest into this life. It's coming up as competitive energies. So again, take it how it resonates. These people don't have to be intentionally trying to get in your way, but it does feel like external situations, okay? Like being the black sheep of the family, being neurodivergent, being misunderstood, being judged, being projected onto, having friendships where you were competing and you didn't realize it. You were just being yourself, okay? There's something about like all of these things are being shed right now, and especially the ways in which it really changed you and how you expressed yourself, how you showed up, how you took control. This is the healing that's coming up now, because it's caused you to feel lost, to like, it's pushed you off of your path. It's become distractions. I'm hearing a plane. I feel like you're about to have like a takeoff moment. Again, there's the Knight of Cups reversed. This was what was stalling a lot of you. And this isn't something that, again, you need to be angry about. I feel like if there's anything coming up there, I think that that's something that you've already passed through. This is just the time to start taking action now where you once didn't. I feel like, again, there's already a direction that was found or that was revealed at some point. It's just time to start getting to work. You know, you've already arrived at where you needed to arrive at. It's time to now embody and integrate that wisdom or integrate that realization. For a lot of you, I was going to say this could really, when it comes to your love life, it's like someone here might need to make an offer or express themselves in a certain way that maybe they've been judged. Okay, I'm picking that up. For a lot of you, this could be like the LGBTQ plus community, but there's a lot of shame behind why someone did not express their feelings towards someone, and Spirit is giving you the green light. They're actually like begging you to please be honest, be vulnerable about whatever it is that is on your heart, whether this is romantic or just to anyone in your life or to yourself, to God, like just speaking out loud. It might make us feel crazy sometimes, especially when we're in the car in traffic, just pointing out all of these signs and synchronicities. But they're just asking you to be open, allow yourself that little bit of a crack. I'm getting like a crack in an egg. Open up. That's so weird, but okay. Maybe I'm thinking of the ducks, because I'm kind of thinking of baby ducks right now. But they're wanting you to open up. They're wanting you to like make peace. For some of you, I think this has to deal with what I was picking up before. For some of you, you have to have like a certain conversation, maybe one of healing, one of apology, one of forgiveness from a genuine place. Okay, whether this is one that you're going to be receiving soon, because someone will be opening up as well in the ways in which other people are mirroring your energy and the way it's transitioning through this. I feel like the ways in which you respond to certain things in general is transitioning. And I actually talked about this in my blog today, the Daily Moon Guide. So I'll leave my link tree in the description where you guys can get personal readings if you desire. And you can also connect with me on other platforms and my blog. But I was talking about this Aries moon is really like asking us to take action when it comes to our feelings. And a lot of us might be taking impulsive action when it comes to misinterpreting something. So that's why I'm getting like this apology energy, but a lot of like kiss and make up, whether it's with other people or whether it's with yourself. Okay, because again, behind that is where that green, I keep getting green light. Something about cars or traffic seems so significant here, but that's where something gets started. That's where the fire or the flame is relit. Something is not completely put out. You just need to spark it again. Okay. Let's get into some oracle, because I feel like the tarot might just bring me in circles, and I kind of want a little bit of details. This might be a little bit of a long video. Yeah, I'm looking at road trip or traveling. I feel like something could happen while someone's on a trip, and that's why you have to go somewhere. Sagittarius energy is important here. Leo energy, Taurus, Libra, Aquarius, fixed signs, Cancer. Did I not say this is once you back? I can't even remember if this is flipped or not, but once you back, didn't know your worth. Now they're desperate, too little, too late. Again, for some of you, you do need to expect some apologies from a wolf in sheep's clothing from your past, someone that is now revealed. Either you are realizing who they are, or they're realizing this about themselves, always starting drama. And I feel like, again, this is something like that's giving me ego battles, competitive energies. Someone had to be louder, someone had to be bigger, they had to have more attention, always stirring the pot, always in the middle, loved the chaos, loved the drama. Creep in reverse. There are going to be people who are really going to start being revealed in your lives. A lot of you are about to receive a lot of truths from people. And I know like this started as a message about putting out your truth and expressing your truth. But again, I feel like this is because something's being mirrored here between the connections in your life in the past and the ones you're moving toward in the future. But there's something about this transition that's like really important in terms of seeing clearly where you're coming from and what you're moving toward, because there were a lot of energies in your past that honestly just wanted to force you and shape you and just mold you into what they wanted you to be, but they did not ever ask who you were, what you wanted. And even if they did, or even if you tried to tell them, I don't feel like that community, this community, again, whether you're currently with these people or not, it feels like friends, it feels like family, it's like bigger. It's like a lot of people it feels like it's a lot of people around you, but they didn't ever accept you as you were. There's something here about like you always get a little bit of a pushback somehow whenever you show up fully as yourself. And it's like you don't tend to do that a lot because of how you know people will respond to you when you do so. So Forcer says pushy energy, crosses your boundaries, gets what they want by any means. And there it is, you're moving on. Bikes could be significant. That's giving me like, it's kind of reminding me of New Amsterdam energy. I don't know why, but that was a city that was really coming up to me a lot. Or country. I don't know why I'm terrible at geography right now. But yeah, thank you. Next, bicycles. I'm also I'm picking up, what is that movie? It's a musical, but they're in Austria or something. And it's the woman from Princess Diaries. Actually, I'm channeling Princess Diaries too, but what is that? The Sound of Music. I'm picking up The Sound of Music. Yeah, I don't know where that was taking me, but maybe someone needs to hear that. Scarcity tactics. You're moving away from people's scarcity tactics. You're moving away from their big egos, because there's something about you're too big for where you're at right now. You've outgrown it. It's time for you to move on. And I think a lot of you have accepted this, like within your mindsets, 4444 on the timer as I'm saying this. Okay, you are protected, and it's time for you to find a new home. It's time for you to find your soul family, your soul connections. These are not going to be people that treat you in the same way. So I think that this is a lot of how you're also realizing like who's being revealed for who they really are at this time, because you're getting unhooked. Okay, legal issues could be solved for some of you. Okay, a lot of you, I'm just getting like people around you wanted a lot of clout. And you might have Leo placements as well. It's like they know that you generate or you attract a lot of energy or a lot of abundance or something that they desire, but they don't naturally get themselves. So while these people might also like be competing with you, they didn't really want to disconnect with you because of the way you're seen by other people. I don't know. It honestly feels like you guys are accepted more by people who don't know you than the people who are closest to you. Again, impersonators reversed. Michael Jackson could be significant. I was listening to Michael Jackson in the shower and I was just having like it. I don't know. I just felt like dancing. I don't know why I even felt the need to say that, but okay. Wants your life, copies your style, obsessed with being you. People want to be you, but they don't like you. Or they don't treat you like they like you, but they do like you because this is fan energy. They want you to be different so that they can be your, that's what's giving. It's like they want to swap destinies with you. I think that's what people call it, destiny swapping. They like your energy. They like what it gives them, but they don't like that you have it. So they want to be you. That's literally it. Impersonators. They're being revealed because you literally cannot be around them anymore. I feel like, again, so many of you are moving And something about maybe the trip is going to trigger something to be like, hey, I want to stay here because there's something about you're meant to be shining so much brighter, so much louder, so much more dramatic, so much more emotional than you are right now. Radiate with your truth because your light triggers darkness. Stay unapologetically you. I'm learning this lesson as well. I did something for the end of last year. Actually, I think it's on my board. Okay. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but it's like you write 12 intentions or wishes for your new year. And then I think you like do a ritual every night and until the last night of the end of the year. Or maybe it's the first, don't ask me because I don't really remember. All I know is you end up with one, and the one that you end up with, you open, and that's the one that is your responsibility to carry into and do, aligned action with in the new year. So spirit, the universe, creator, God handles the rest. Mine was number 13. I said number 13 was significant. I don't know if y'all can see that. But mine was 2026 is the year the world is reintroduced to the new, confident, self-sufficient, abundant, prosperous Jordan, loud and proud. So I always have this like pinned on my board so that I can remember, like, first and foremost, no matter what's happening, this is my responsibility this year. This is the promise that I kept for myself. This is the intention I always try to remember at the beginning of every day. And this is why I had to get back on YouTube, because I'm tired of holding myself back. Like maybe sometimes I'm feeling tired or I feel like I don't have the capabilities. You know what? I already know why I could say I feel this way. And I don't think I need to use this as a therapy session. I have a therapist for that. But it is a lot of like internalization. It's a lot of internalization. It's a lot of fear that if I don't know why my light just went out, but it's a lot of fear that if I even try, it's not going to work out. Or maybe it's a fear of restarting something, having to start over from the beginning, feeling like you're so far away from a goal. It just feels like it's defeating to even just be at the beginning. Like, why even do that? Why not just find another path? Why not find an easier path, a quicker path? It's just not meant to be that, because every time you try to like go around it, you end up right where you're at. You end up right back at the beginning. You feel stuck, and maybe it's because there's something that you're missing about where you're at in the present, right at this time and in this moment. I honestly need to take a nap. So that's probably why I'm rambling. I'm done. Anyway, I'm going to end this with some advice. But yeah, that was the lesson my ADHD connected back to the beginning at this point. But impersonators are going to be revealed. They are going to be removed. Anything that is blocking your light, whether it's externally or internally within you, it's going to be moved out of the way, because I think that with this being the fire horse year, this Aries energy, we are all really being reignited to get our ish together and get ish started. I don't know if I'm allowed to curse on here, so I'm just not going to do that just yet. But yeah, we need to be a little bit more confident. We need to be a little bit more self-sufficient. We need to be a little bit more self-focused. It doesn't make you selfish, but I don't know. It's like everyone on this planet tells us to love ourselves, and then the minute we show ourselves a little bit of liking, it's like, oh, that's too much. Don't do that. Elephants could be significant. I love elephants. They're one of my spirit animals next to dolphins. But grounding, you're being asked to ground yourself. You've been spending too much time in your head, and it's time to pay attention to your body and to the earth. Go outside, plant your feet on the ground, and enjoy the centering feeling this brings, especially for those of you who are seeing this soon. This Friday, Mercury retrograde ends, but we also have the spring equinox. So it's a perfect day to go outside and really ground. Listen to your body. Again, when I read that, I really feel like it's another reminder of, like, in a way, somatic therapy. Get your body moving, shake. I'm hearing shake the stress away. Rihanna, shake the stress away. I wasn't looking for nobody when you looked my way. Possible candidate. Who knew? I don't know the song name. That should be looking like a doom. Whatever that song is, you're gonna know the song if you need to know the song. But maybe that resonates here. It's like maybe you need to go out specifically because, again, you weren't looking for somebody, but somebody's gonna look your way. I just really feel like abundance is about to find you. Abundance. You need to get out. Someone just needs to maybe get out of your house or get up and get moving. But even if it's not to meet someone specific, I think that the abundance is going to be found in that moment because you're physically unblocking your energy. You're working through your root chakra, like literally physically, and it loves to be grounded outside. Getting in the sun, actually finding that natural sense of clarity. Sorry, I had a phone call. Dang, that distracted me. What was I saying? I'm gonna read the card. Abundance. You're being asked to open to abundance, to believe that you're deserving of it, and to believe that it will flow to you. This is the first step toward receiving it. Breathe deeply and trust that it's on its way. Basically, I remember now, when you're unblocking your body somatically, physically, you're also shaking off the energy that doesn't belong to you. Like I was talking about before with the 10 of Wands, all of these judgments, all of these insecurities, these doubts, these shames, these fears, these should'ves, would'ves, and could'ves that don't belong to you, but really belong to other people, their energy, their blockages, their delays, it gets returned to them. And your energy, again, intentionally call that back. Pick that up and put these down. Because if you can really sit with yourself, breathe in nature, it really does like scientifically recalibrate your body, your electrons. It'll be rebalanced and it'll just be feeling all good, okay? Don't ask me to put the words together right now. I'm tired and I'm done. And I think all of us just need to allow ourselves to rest because it's like, again, you've done enough. You just might need to rethink and review where you're already at in this moment, okay? So that is the message that I have for you guys. Thanks for sticking around. I will be sure to see y'all soon. If you can, give me a subscribe. I was gonna say give me a like, but like, comment, follow, whatever. We'll get used to the YouTube slang, but give me a subscription, a subscribe, whatever. I'll see you next time. I love y'all.